week has been insane. Because I've literally, like y'all know, I don't like going out, bro. I don't like going out, but like I love to be busy and creative and all that cool shit. So I haven't been making the time out to, like I just got, I ain't been out since I've been here for real. So, rest in peace to Didi Sandra, my auntie. Like cousins that came through, flew out here. And yesterday was crazy because we all like linked up. I know y'all probably seen me on live when like I was on the beach or something, or when, I don't know. I went on live at one point in time, and then but I kind of didn't want to even, because I was, even with death is something I'm still uh getting used to cope with, because it's always been like a weird thing to me. So even like, my homie Danny passed away. That was, that was a weird thing for me, and I didn't, and because of how I felt and just whatever, I didn't even get to, you know, be in the loop of like, oh, this is a funeral and this and that. Like it's just, I don't know. I feel like I have to grieve and pay my respects and like internally, because I don't want, it's about paying homage, and I don't want to, Anyways, um, but life is hilarious. I guess I'm gonna talk about this here because today in the pod is about the new episode is titled "The Worker," and I'm gonna be sharing with y'all my like working experience. How those eras in my life molded and shaped me and like type shit. You know what I'm saying? See, I ain't Jay Z. I ain't got the story of you know what I'm saying. I was on the block with a pocket full of rocks, getting money around the. My bad. This beep started. I gotta take this shit off. Um, yeah, that's not my story. I've never been a dope boy or a trapper or nothing like that. Um, there was points in my life where, once I understood, if I buy more, it'll be less. So my boy would go grab something to like, so he could make his little money. I used to be like, hey, I'll go half with you, not to make money, but so I can have like, nah, what the fuck. I don't want to be leaving every 2-3 days to go. Fuck that. I need a bunch so I could just have that shit in the crib. And when I'm working on my stuff, I could just go. What's happening? What's happening? But yeah. So real interesting, right? My everyone came together on the beach yesterday to celebrate my aunt's life before she transitioned. And I'm seeing family members that when I was little I was hella close, and crazy because like this is like my mom's side of the family, right? And it's interesting too because I'm starting to feel like when I first got to Puerto Rico, it's heavy. Puerto Ricans are cultural, and I think most of the Caribbean, it's cultural identity first and race second. And I mean that I don't mean that systematically. I don't mean that in government. I don't mean that in entertainment. I mean that from the people. Like the people that live here, the people that born and raised here, all that shit, they see cultural identity versus like over race, which is kind of crazy. And it's just I understood that because like my ex-girlfriend, she's Haitian, right? So it was interesting when we started dating. I got tapped into the family, into her family, stuff like that. It was interesting how culturally we had so much stuff in common, like from the way like the family structure is at home to the food to just like even how the girls are treated this way and the men are treated this way, and even just like the little. It's funny. Yesterday, well, I'll get into that in a second, but it was a lot of various things. So like if I would ask, like if you if you ask an old Haitian lady, like are you African, she'd be like, no, I'm a Haitian, right? And not to take away no crazy shit like that, but it's just like this is why, and obviously for the history this and Caribbean and stuff like that, like people are proud. And if you look at the evolution of the flag too, which is a whole nother different conversation, you'll see how goddamn though the because even the Puerto Rican flag, the modern one, right? Because if you look at like the older Puerto Rican flag, it looks almost looks like the Dominican flag, and there's all this the flag was representing like revolution, like, like the revolution. So this is why the Puerto Ricans made their flag with the inverse of the Cuban flag to support like the resistance, or I don't know. I'm butchering it up, and I don't want to fucking not say it the right way, because I'm still, this information is still kind of fresh as I'm learning and reading about certain things about over here, whatever. But anyways, I said this to say, right? So like on my mom's side of the family, it's like Taino Spaniard type, you know what I'm saying? So they like, my cousins on that side have completely different experiences than me growing up on my side. Cause like, it's strange and it's funny. So my bad. I'm saying all of this to say that I'm looking at certain family, like my two big cousins that I used to look up to when I was little, and I'm seeing their kids now, and their kids is about like what, like 12, 13, 14 years old, around that age or whatever. But I'm sitting there and I'm looking at both of the sons next to each other talking, right? And I had a flashback of that, like, at my little second cousin, right? Looking at them, I'm like, damn, y'all, it's crazy, the circle of life.